Upgrading your electric lighting to natural lighting can be done quickly and easily with a Solatube daylighting system. It can turn a dark interior into a bright, colorful space that costs nothing to light, and it usually installs in about 2 hours. This video will show you how. My name is Todd Anderson. I'm a product specialist and certified installation instructor at Solatube International. Solatube daylighting systems use breakthrough optics to capture, transfer, and deliver daylight into a home's interior. Here's how it works. The Solatube daylighting system features a rooftop dome with patented Ray-Bender 3000 technology, an advanced lens system that captures sun from all angles while rejecting overpowering midday summer sun. Then, Solatube Spectralite Infinity tubing, featuring the highest reflectivity on Earth, transfers the light up to 40 feet, where it is beautifully dispersed throughout the home's interior with our Solatube decorative fixtures that combine the beauty of glass and the vibrancy of daylight. The real beauty of a Solatube daylighting system is that it can bring daylight to places it couldn't reach before. Currently, this bathroom is lit by a single incandescent light source over the sink. This electric light emits a warm glow, making it difficult to apply makeup and match clothing colors properly. This bathroom also has a very loud exhaust fan. The goal of this upgrade is to provide the homeowner with daylighting that is bright and evenly distributed, along with a nighttime light and a quieter fan. Let's get started. To install a Solatube daylighting system, please refer to the printed installation instructions for a comprehensive tool list. The first step is to find the approximate center of the room. You'll then tap a nail into the ceiling to mark the location. Next, enter the attic and locate the nail. Check that it is centered between joists. If not, adjust the position. Once the nail is properly positioned, mark the roof directly above it. Tap a second nail into the roof at this location, placing it between the joists and the rafters. Now, return to the bathroom. In an install with ventilation like this one, you'll use the ventilation housing template. Place it in the desired location on the ceiling surface and trace around it. You'll notice that the template is oval because the lighting and ventilation functions are combined. When installing a standard unit without ventilation, the ceiling entry will be circular. Cut along the line you just drew using a keyhole saw. Then remove the ceiling material. Secure the ventilation housing with 6 drywall screws and 6 screw backing tabs. Now it's time to go up to the roof. The best location is usually on the south-facing slope. Once on the roof, locate the nail you placed previously. Position the flashing over the nail and trace a circle with a lumber crayon using the inside of the flashing base as a guide. Cut into the roof 1/2 inch outside the traced line using a reciprocating or saber saw. Holding onto the nail, be careful not to let the cut roofing material fall into the attic to prevent damage to the ceiling. Use a flat bar to loosen the roof shingles around the opening and remove any roofing nails or staples that may interfere with the installation. Insert flashing without sealant to ensure a proper fit under the shingles. Remove the flashing and apply sealant to the underside. Then slide the flashing underneath the loose shingles. Do not smear the sealant when inserting the flashing into the shingles. Secure the flashing to the roof using 8 flashing screws. Insert the top assembly into the flashing. Using your hand, rotate the tube until the tube angle aligns with the ceiling opening below. Measure the distance from the ceiling opening to the top tube to determine the length of the connecting extension tubes. Once the desired angle is set, remove the top assembly and secure the tube angle by taping the tube seam with foil tape. Reinsert the top assembly into the flashing. Fasten the dome ring using 4 dome ring screws. Remove the protective liner from the tube interior. Using a standard or digital compass, determine which direction is south. Attach the light tracker reflector to the fastening clips located inside the dome, and remove the protective liner. Rotate the dome so that the light tracker reflector faces south, then snap it into place on top of the dome ring. If you're installing in the southern hemisphere, face the light tracker reflector to the north. Apply sealant over the screws to prevent rusting and on the underside of the shingles that were pried up earlier to re-secure them to the roof. Lastly, trim the shingles on either side of the dome at a downward angle. This allows water to flow down the roof and prevents pooling. Using the recorded measurement, determine the required length of the extension tubing and assemble. Remove the protective liner from the tube interior. Create a tapered tube with one end larger than the other. Assemble the extension tube by securing the notches in the middle and at both ends. Apply foil tape along the seam and press firmly to complete the seal. Remove the protective liner from the bottom tube assembly. Then insert the small end of the extension tube into the bottom assembly with the vertical seam on opposing sides. Insert 3 evenly spaced screws to secure the tubing. Tape the connecting seam and apply pressure for a complete seal. Attach the expansion joint seal 1/4 inch below the top end of the extension tube assembly. Using a spur or paddle bit, bore a 7/8 inch diameter hole through the tube wall, located 7.5 inches up from the bottom end of the tube. From the inside of the tube, thread the wires through the 7/8 inch hole, then through the 90-degree conduit connector. Push the connector through the tube wall and lamp bracket. Tighten the connecting nut to the 90-degree conduit connector. Fit the foam seal over the end of the wires. Feed the wires through the flexible conduit. Insert the anti-short bushing over the wires between the conduit and the 90-degree connector so that the cone of the anti-short bushing enters the conduit. Fit the conduit into the 90-degree connector and tighten the screws. At the opposite end of the conduit, push the exposed wires through the straight connector and screw the connector into the conduit. Please ensure that all electrical work is completed by a licensed electrician and follows your state codes. Next, enter the attic and select a suitable fan motor assembly location. The fan motor that comes with the ventilation kit is called a remote or inline fan. Because it's mounted in the attic and not directly on the ceiling, it is substantially quieter. Secure the fan motor assembly by screwing 4 1-inch screws through the mounting brackets on the fan motor assembly and into the building structure. Ensure that the airflow is facing the correct direction by referring to the arrow on the fan motor assembly. Install insulated 4-inch diameter air ducting running from the ventilation housing inlet to the fan motor assembly. Use the foil tape provided to attach the ducting to the fan motor assembly. The ducting is not included in the vent kit and must be purchased separately. On the other side of the fan motor assembly, run the air ducting to the duct connector of the ventilation exhaust opening pipe or the optional roof vent cap. For best venting performance, make the air ducting run as short as possible with minimum bends. Back down in the bathroom, insert the bottom tube assembly through the ceiling entry and into the top tube. In this case, you will not tape the seam. Using a screwdriver or screw gun, engage the fastening clamps so they secure the ceiling ring to the ceiling. If you are installing in cold weather climates, apply a latex caulking to the ceiling ring to help minimize air transfer. Remove the remaining protective liner from the tube interior. Insert a medium screw-based compact fluorescent light bulb into the lamp holder. Install the effect lens into the ceiling ring. Snap the vent screen onto the ventilation housing. Insert the diffuser into the ceiling ring over the effect lens and twist in a clockwise direction until it locks into place. Now that the installation is complete, this bathroom is filled with bright, natural light. The light kit we added provides warm nighttime lighting, and the vent kit we installed features a much quieter fan. So in about 2 hours, we transformed a dark, noisy bathroom into a bright, naturally lit space that not only meets the project goals, but will also greatly reduce the homeowner's energy use. For additional assistance with installation, visit the technical resources page at www.solatube.com or call 1-888-SOLATUBE to speak to a Solatube customer care representative.